What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Trooper Transmission. And today I've got Nathan Jones. Nathan, thanks for coming on and sharing your story about your experience inside Fit Nerd Academy, man.
Oh, good to be here.
Yeah. So take us all back 5, 6 months ago. What was going on and what inspired you to reach out to some dude in a clone trooper helmet on the internet?
Oh, I'd say the most part, I just noticed that I had started gaining weight. A year ago from that same day, I was sitting at 180, and then whenever I started looking around, figured out I was 190. I was like, okay, cool. There needs to be something else I can do because that plan that I was on before that year ago was not really feeling it. So I was looking for something geared more towards myself. And then I was just looking around, saw it on YouTube. I was like, I wonder. And then I saw the shakes, and I was like, okay, he's probably got a nutrition plan. Cool. Let me see what this guy's about. Got on the phone, and it was great. Like, yeah.
Yeah. So you came in through the YouTube. You were doing
Hmm.
the train like a trooper stuff.
Yeah.
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 And so you're in the Air Force, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Have been in for about 10 years.
Okay, cool. And so then you join, you've been crushing it. You just graduated
Hmm.
phase one a week ago. What's been your experience inside of it? What were some of the things that maybe you're concerned about, or the things you've found like, oh wow, this is actually way easier than I thought it was?
So I think one of the things specifically for myself that I was concerned about was keeping up the schedule. Um, Due to the nature of work, it was like, okay, cool. Am I going to be able to hit the gym this day? Am I not going to be able to go this day? And I ran into that a little bit. There were days where I couldn't go to the gym, but the good thing was is that through like the apps and like communication with you specifically, able to find things to work around, even if that meant not going to the gym. Hey, let's do a body weight this time. Hey, look at this day from the YouTube series, for example, and then try doing this with it. And it was good. Like that was probably one of the coolest things that I've seen. It was very fluid and you can adapt it with how you want. And that happened with the meals as well. That was probably one, it still is one of the best things that I've experienced with it. Cool. Here's this list. It's all keyed out. You got meal preps, you've got low carb, high protein, like everything is marked. And I think that was like one of the big things. Hey, what about this ingredient? Can we sub it? Yeah. And then you'd get back to me and like, even though I'm in Japan, like you get back to me in like maybe 12 hours, which is crazy fast considering the time difference. So, but it was
Yeah.
just, it was all really good. I had those concerns of, like I said, the schedule and everything, and maybe a little bit about the diet because I was like, is this going to just be leafy greens with protein powder, just chicken and spinach every day? No, it wasn't. It was great. It was, hey, we're going to do stir fry, just leave out the rice. And it was like, man, it was pretty good. So,
Yeah. I love that. And you've been really good just with being consistent, and like you're a guy who loves spending time with the wife on the weekends, going and getting and enjoying just food that you guys enjoy.
yeah.
Has that been a change at all, or do you feel like you've been able to maintain a lot of your regular lifestyle? It's just a little bit more streamlined, maybe is a way to put it.
So, yeah, I have been able to maintain a regular lifestyle. I think the key thing was like, I can still go and do all of that. And hey, sometimes I don't have time to cook. But you know what? I know what the diets look like. I know what you've said. And so, even with, for example, the travel food options, sometimes I don't even open that because I'm like, wait, I can go down to this convenience store. I know I can just get this chicken box, right? That comes with rice and a bunch of stuff. Just don't eat the rice. Just have the chicken. It's not the best still, but it's better than me eating the whole thing or going and getting what I used to get. So I think I haven't really had to change too much. And it's something you can definitely slow roll into. It's not like, hey, cool, you're going to start this diet today, go and buy this much and do all these meals. Boom, boom, boom. It's like, hey, slow roll into this. You can add like a few meals in for this week. I would say that if you do jump straight into it and you're mentally ready for that change, it's really good. Like I think you saw, like, I jumped straight into it, I think, and we just started dropping weight. I
Hmm.
mean, I'm at a plateau now, but I mean, back whenever we first started, it was like everything was being tracked. It was good. I think I dropped what, 5 pounds in a month or so. I would have to look back at the stats, but it was significant. But that would be, once again, if you're like ready for that stuff. I
Yeah.
think I kind of got a little, what is that called? Relapsed a little bit like that first weekend after jumping straight into it, but it's good to slow roll into it, I would say.
Yeah. And I mean, everyone's going to have a different experience. And I like to look at it as the inverse or maybe the actual verse of like a stock price, right? Where it goes up,
Hmm.
comes down. But if you look at the trend line, like if we look at your trend line, you're crushing it.
Yeah.
And that's why I love taking a longer approach to this rather than like an 8 week sprint. It's like, hey, let's be in the
Hmm.
community for a year. Let's spend time, navigating seasons where maybe you hit a plateau or work's crazy or, the holidays, and you can
Yeah.
be successful in the long run rather than feeling like you need to be perfect from day one. And then
Hmm.
after 8 weeks, you're like, okay, I'm no longer perfect. Now what?
Yeah.
Yeah. What would you say for you are like the three keys to success? Like if you had to say, if I've got these three things going each day or each week, like I'm going to be successful more times than not.
Ooh. Ooh, that might be, let me think. Ooh. So three things. I would say consistency for sure. Like, if you can get whatever you're going to do to be consistent and just start making it a habit, that's going to be key. Like, that's just going to start turning into muscle memory eventually. Is like, okay, cool. It sucks for the first 2 weeks, 2 months, waking up at 5:30 to go for a walk. Let's say that that's what's planned out. But you know what? Like, after that time, whatever time you need, and it becomes a habit, it's great. So I would say consistency is probably the biggest thing, because if you're not consistent, you're just going to be all over the place.
Yeah.
Um, hmm. Second thing, I'd say definitely realizing when you need to kick yourself in the butt to actually go and do things. I ran into that recently. Sat there for like 2 weeks, not really doing anything, sitting around, not caring for the most part. And then it was like, okay, was it, we had the 20-60-20 post, where it's like, hey, you know what? Sometimes you just got to kick yourself in the butt and just go for it. Like, it's like, okay, cool. So sometimes you just got to realize you're just kind of being lazy. Other times it is okay to be lazy, but sometimes you got to realize, hey, I need to stop. I need to go and do this because right now it's what I need. Um, Third thing. Hmm. I'd say the support system would be the third thing. Like, like, I haven't used the group as much as I utilize you, but that is like still a support system and it works. It's great having that support system, or a support system, because my wife also helps out a bunch with making sure that I am on track
Hmm.
and doing things right. So I would say consistency is the number one. Realizing when you need to kick yourself in the butt, number two. And then having any sort of support system that works for you is number three. I'd say those are the three key things.
Yeah.
So,
And
and
that
go
that
ahead.
group chat you mentioned is fun because I can see you sharing your steps and then people
Yeah.
are liking it and hearting it and pumping you up. And sometimes it's just nice to have a group of people to throw like questions or struggles or wins against so that you don't feel
Hmm.
like you're in an echo chamber or like you're
Yeah.
on your own. And so I
That
love
was,
seeing you like share photos or even like people will be sharing memes or sharing
oh,
what
yeah.
games
Oh,
they're playing.
yeah.
And so
The
it's
meme Mondays that we had, that
yeah,
was fun. Oh,
yeah,
man.
definitely. Cool, man. Well, thank you so much for taking time out of your day over in Japan and just kind of
Oh,
sharing
yeah.
your story and excited to keep working with you and keep crushing it, dude.